Uh-huh. I've been working so damn hard today, typing words so I can get my pay. What I want is one right out there, not sitting here in an office chair. Take me out so I can let my head down. Won't you take me to the movies? I know a place.
Welcome to Gallery Girl, and this week we're in downtown Richmond, where we're going to go to Block Projects, an artist-run gallery where we're going to see an exhibition by a young artist called Connor O'Brien. He's done an exhibition called The Last White Cloud. I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know what to expect, but I've managed to convince to come with me and to guide me through the exhibition a beautiful artist, an expert in photography, who's had more stories written about her. She's shot more CD covers. She's done more exhibitions than I've had hot dinner dates. And that is Jacqueline Mittelman. Jacqueline, welcome. Thanks for helping Gallery Girl.
Thank you, Andy. I'm really delighted to be with you.
So your specialty is portraiture. Tell me about the difference between specialising in portraiture and other photography.
Well, obviously with portraiture, I guess you're trying to get your subject into a not certain state, but you want something where the subject is open, because it would be very easy to take lots of photographs of people having their photograph taken, which is mostly uncomfortable for people, so you would have them all looking rather alienated and startled. So somehow you have to get through that condition of having their photograph taken, because you don't want that. You want a picture of them, not them in that circumstance.
I get a bit confused at times. People say to me they're a modern photographer, or they're a postmodern photographer, they're a conceptual photographer. Are you postmodern or are you conceptual?
I really don't know. I sort of feel if you wait long enough, you'll move into another category.
They love to put categories on what you're doing.
I'm not ideological. I don't have photographs with an explanation next to them about what they mean and what they're about. I expect what's in the photograph to convey what there is. That's not that it's not enlightening and gives meaning to a photograph if there's some explanation of what's happening and the artist's process. Or titles become very important. You look at something that's titled something and you often interpret it through the title if it's a good title. But generally it's what's showing, not what's written.
My next question is, how many photos a year do you take to end up with one good one?
I don't think it works like that. It's a bit like in the session.
Okay.
How many would I take? The lady who was the subject of the portrait I took for the portrait gallery had a particularly interesting face. She was really beautiful face, very expressive, and you know when you're going to take the subject whether the subject is sort of interesting or not. And that's exciting when you know you're taking somebody who's interesting.
I read where you did a couple of years ago a show with dogs, where you treated the dogs as portraiture subjects. Is that a normal thing? Do you shoot a lot of animals as people?
No, the dogs are particularly interesting. They're the only ones I shot, were sort of like within the conventions of portraiture. And it was really a play about convention of portraiture and how you interpret how somebody looks. The funny thing was I probably took as much film to do a portrait of a dog as I would of a person. And you look at the photographs and you say the same thing. He doesn't look very intelligent in that one, you know. But the way you make a dog look intelligent is you make meowing sounds and he looks extremely alert, you know.
You've taken 1 million photos. Who's the most your favourite subject?
I couldn't say who. There's lots and lots of people. But when you work on a photograph for a long time, you sort of fall in love with it. Yes. And at the moment, I'm still in love with the photograph of Miss Alessandra.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. For me, the photo actually talked about maturity and about females, you know, this stereotype that we have to be young and gorgeous, and that she's obviously a more senior lady and absolutely beautiful.
Yes, that was very important for me, that her hair was grey and that we didn't touch out the wrinkles, and that in spite of all this sort of, you know, bit of wear and tear, she still was a very compelling and a very attractive woman.
So beautiful.
I mean, the fact that it was an honest photograph was really important to me.
We're just talking about Annie Leibovitz, and I'm sitting with the Melbourne equivalent, Jacqueline Mittelman. Last week she won the biggest prize you can win, the National Portrait Prize, for her photograph for her work at the National Portrait Gallery. Now, if you're in Canberra, it's not a bad place to spend an afternoon in the National Portrait Gallery, is it?
No, it's great, and the show is really, really good. You know, I think that I was very honoured to win, because I think it was a really strong field.
You totally deserved it. But we're going to look at a show now by a young artist that neither of us have heard of. Jacqueline sees a lot of photography, so I feel she is the one to guide me through this. Come on, let's go see it. Excuse me, I'm Gallery Girl from Channel 31 on my way to an opening around the corner. Do you mind if I just do a quick interview with you?
Absolutely. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so rare to meet a man in ears and a moustache at a bar, so I'm delighted that I'm able to have this quick interview with...
Steve the Bunny.
Steve the Bunny. Steve, do you go to a lot of art galleries?
A few, actually, yeah.
Okay, what's your favourite gallery in Melbourne?
Oh, this is going to be a hard one. The NGV.
NGV, one of my favourite places too. What's the last thing you saw at the NGV?
Salvador Dali, actually.
You got to love a man with a moustache, don't you?
Exactly, yeah, it was lovely.
Tell me, did you know there's a gallery around the corner called Block Projects?
No idea.
No
actually.
idea. Well, we're going to actually go around and see the exhibition. If you get bored in the bar, do you want to join us?
I'll hop along.
I love to pick up a man with ears. See you there, bunny man.
Thank you.